Good evening, everyone. This is Cam with Modern Retro Renaissance, continuing my series of my top 50 favorite games of all time with numbers 30 through 21. Number 30, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. One of the first truly great and genre defining games for the Star Wars properties. Knights of the Old Republic was made by BioWare and released in 2003. It is BioWare's take on Star Wars. Everything about Star Wars video games is kind of marked by before and after Knights of the Old Republic. It took place thousands of years in the past, which helped it avoid the trap of Star Wars lore. They did not have to worry about making sure that their story did not conflict with any of the Star Wars movies, which made the story, as anyone that's played it knows, very good because they were not having to try to work around the inconsistencies that they maybe could create. You play as a Jedi or a Sith, and you get to be as good or as bad as you want. This was novel when it came out. It's become hackneyed and old hand at this point, but when it came out, being able to be a true evil Sith was something different and new for the Star Wars property. Number 29. I'm cheating here because it's my video and I can. I'm picking Ori and the Blind Forest and its sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Both made by Moon Studios. The Blind Forest released in 2015, Will of the Wisps released in 2020. What can I say about these games? But they are beautiful. Can't really compare the art style to any other game that I've played. You just have to see these games in motion, just how vibrant and lovely what I believe to be 2D art. I don't think that it's 3D polygons. I probably need to research that a little more, but either way, very beautiful. The Metrovania gameplay is buttery smooth. Anytime that you mess up in this game, it is your fault because it is not the fault of the controls. Everything just performs exactly as it should. The story in the games is very touching, very somber at times, and it is very minimalist. You don't have a ton of dialogue that's giving you a lot of exposition. What you see on the screen tells the story for you. Number 28, Fire Emblem Awakening, made by Nintendo and Intelligent Systems, released in 2012. It's an amazing turn-based strategy with a rock, paper, scissors type battle system. Certain troops are strong against certain other types of troops, like rock, paper, scissors. The game is a turn-based strategy game with almost a dating sim component to it. Your characters that you start the game out with can fall in love, get married, and have children. The children that you have inherit traits from both parents, and you can create super powerful, almost the perfect soldier by selective breeding, as strange as that sounds. It was my first Fire Emblem game that I ever played, and I wish I could go back and play it again just for that first time, because it was something special and something new for me. Number 27, Batman Arkham City, made by Rocksteady Studios in 2011. This game is the follow-up to Batman Arkham Asylum, also an excellent game. But I think it's better in pretty much all ways. They took what was good in Arkham Asylum and they opened it up to the whole city. You simply feel like Batman when you play this game. The Batman character in the game was voiced by Kevin Conroy, who in the last few years passed away, and to be honest, he became the voice for Batman for me. just like Mark Hamill is the voice of the Joker. The combat system in it is excellent, as evidenced by the fact that it was copied by pretty much every other game developer for a period of time afterwards, especially the parry system that they had when fighting multiple enemies. You could fly from one enemy to the next and everything just chained together perfectly. Number 26, and a game that is special to my heart, Street Fighter III Third Strike. Made by Capcom, obviously. 1999 was the release date. This is my favorite Street Fighter game, full stop. I love this game. I love every iteration of it, but Third Strike is just, it's the best of the versions that came out. If you've never played this game, you need to. The animation on it is maybe my favorite 2D animation today. I just love watching this game in motion, just the way that the characters move, how they gave these 2D sprites a feeling of weight to their movements. This game led to one of the greatest moments in competitive video game history, and that's Evo moment number 37, when I think his name is Daigo counter Chun-Li's super, all I think 37 hits of it to come back and win at the end of the match. If you've never watched this video, it's maybe a minute long. Look up, it's EVO moment number 37. You will not be disappointed. Watching this video shows you everything you need to know about what makes Street Fighter III special, even compared to the later sequels that have came out that are more modern, but in my opinion, just do not live up to the greatness that is Third Strike. Number 25, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Once again made by Nintendo and Intelligent Systems, released in 2004. Don't think that it's too controversial of a statement to say that this is the best Paper Mario game, and it's on the GameCube also, which just has a special place in my heart. People for years had clamored wanting Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door to be remade or remastered. Recently, Nintendo did just that on the Switch. We now have a more accessible and cheaper way of playing Paper Mario if you have the Switch. Definitely, if you've never played Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door and you've got a Switch, go out and buy it. It is worth your money and your time. The simplicity of the gameplay on this is to its benefit and not to its detriment. The more recent Paper Mario games have become a little bit more convoluted and complicated in the battle systems, and it was not to the benefit of the game. This is just a fun game to play. It's just turn-based RPG at its best. Number 24, another special game for me, Streets of Rage 4 by Dotemu/Lizard Cube, released in 2020. And now I am going to make a statement that is controversial. Streets of Rage 4 is the best Streets of Rage game. It's better than Streets of Rage 2, and this is a hill that I'm willing to die on, and I will fight you for this. If you've never played Streets of Rage 4 and you want to make the statement that Streets of Rage 2 is better, then I challenge you to beat this game. Play it all the way from beginning to end and still make that statement to me, because I will debate you all day on this. One of the great things is, if you like Streets of Rage 2, you can play as all the characters from all the prior Streets of Rage games, and you get to use their original sprite work. So, it's kind of like getting to play the Streets of Rage 2 game with the Streets of Rage 4 engine. That's a win-win. This is a deep beat-em-up system. The gameplay on this game is so much fun, and the characters are so varied in how you get to play them, and there are so many different characters to play. You can find a character that plays to your playstyle, and you can just go through this game and just see how wonderful it is. Once again, I know I sound like I'm beaming, but that's because this game is that good. Number 23, one of the most recent games I've played on this list. Ghost of Tsushima by Sucker Punch, released in 2020. This game plays like an Akira Kurosawa movie. If you've never watched Seven Samurai, Yojimbo, any of Kurosawa's movies, then you're missing out. But if you have seen any of those movies, then you know kind of what to expect from this game from a tone standpoint. This game has one of the most simple mechanics. It has a button dedicated to cleaning your sword once you've bloodied it. And it never grows old. No matter how many times you do it, watching Jin clean his sword, it never grows old. And even better, Sucker Punch just announced recently that they are coming out with a sequel to this game. And it has me really looking forward to when it comes out, and it cannot come out soon enough. This game plays well. It's got a great story. It is beautiful. It is Sucker Punch firing on all cylinders. And it's a game that if you have a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5, you need to play. I think it may be out on PC also. So you've got 3 different ways of playing it. Number 22, Shadow of the Colossus by Sony, released in 2005. This game is by Fumito Ueda, and it's the spiritual successor to Ico, one of his other games. This dude hasn't made many games, but all of his games are very unique. When you play one of his games, you know you're playing one of his games, because there is a certain somberness to them. The tone of the game is always very melancholy. Really likes to use washed out colors. Like I said, when you see one of his games, you know you're playing one of his games. There's only 16 characters that you fight in the game. Titular Colossi. And outside of that, there is nothing else to fight. And that sounds like it would make for a boring game. Far from it. It's an amazing game. I cannot say enough good about the gameplay of it. It's almost a puzzle game with a action-adventure game built on top of it. And as strange as that sounds, if you play it, you'll understand. This game has been remade and remastered twice since 2005, which is a testament to its lasting appeal. There's just something about this game that every generation for the last 3 generations has seemed to need another version of it, which proves why it's number 22 on my list. And last for tonight, number 21, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, released by, of course, Nintendo. This is the best Mario Kart ever by sheer quantity. You can play pretty much every Mario Kart track that's ever been made for any of the Mario Karts, handheld or console at this point. And you can play as every Mario character that's ever been in a Mario Kart game. And it is just a ton of fun. This game has sold close to 63 million copies on the Switch, which makes it the best-selling game on the Nintendo Switch, which is quickly approaching being the best-selling console of all time. So those two things combined show you just how good Mario Kart 8 Deluxe remains. This is a remaster of a Wii U game, and it deserved to be on the Switch. It wasn't just it wasn't a cash grab. This is the perfect online multiplayer Mario Kart game. I've played with people from my Discord group this game and gotten my butt kicked quite often, and I love every second of it. The only complaint I've got about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is, when is Nintendo going to give us Mario Kart 9? Come on, Nintendo, we need it already. And with that, that is number 30 through 21 of my list. As always, be modern, be retro, be modern retro. Have a good evening.